101.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning and welcome to Guardian Radio AM. Today is Tuesday, April 11th, and it's a little after 11 o'clock in the morning. Once again, this is C.A. Newry, and I shall be your host for this morning's conversation as we talk about digital currency. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Yes. And we're talking about sand dollar, and we have in our as a guest for today, we have Mr. Lashley and Miss Newton, who's giving us detail on why should everybody have sand dollar. And of course, joining me today as a guest host is Erin Green, and she has a list of things that we need to discuss to get into sand dollar, financial literacy, sand dollar ambassadors, giveaways and incentives.
You didn't announce it properly, man.
No. I can let you do that later on.
Okay,
and that's
good,
just
good,
a
good.
preamble. Because on the last show with Erin Green, right, we were discussing why choose sand dollar, right? And I want to go over that again so I can understand what's the benefits of sand dollar, right? And I want to start there so we can introduce these new topics, right? So that's why I just throw that out there. That's what we're going to talk about. But I want to understand the benefits of sand dollar, particularly for micro businesses. Yeah. Now, one of the pet peeves I have is I'm on the corner, right? And I buy in water because I drink a lot of water now. And I give him $5 and I'm blocking up traffic, right? And he said, hold on for the change. And I said, man, I got to go. And look like sand dollar, I just need to scan. I get to go right afterwards. So I want you to go over the benefits, particularly for micro businesses, side of the road type things.
You want me to handle that one, Chandra? Sure. So, as we said earlier, one is reducing your cash footprint and the amount of cash you're holding at any one time. In the current climate and the reality of where we are and what's happening, holding a lot of cash on you is a risk, right? You make yourself a target. So one, you minimize that risk that comes with holding a lot of cash on you.
Especially
at
at
one time.
church. I've experienced it, yes.
Yes, that's unfortunate. Two, it is the ease and ability for the small merchant, the man on the corner, the peanut man, the fisherman, to transact and have a record of those transactions. So sand dollar can now be a tool. If you currently cannot get a merchant bank account with one of the commercial banks because they question how much money you're really making and you don't have any way to prove this. Now you have a ledger in your sand dollar wallet of all of your transactions, right? I can see all of my history. I can keep scrolling back and it's going to show all of my transactions, what I've spent and what's coming in. So now you have some evidence to back that up.
Right, this is a great record to engage investors, service providers, the state, but also as a tool for managing my own small business.
Right.
Right. Awesome.
It is real time as well. So I actually just received $15 just a couple of seconds ago, right? A listener, who obviously I know, just wanted to demonstrate the
Well,
ease of
listener, you
transaction.
could have texted me at 422-3R96 for my number.
It's almost like texting cash, right?
Right. Thank you very much.
Right.
So it is instant settlement. That is
Yeah.
one of the things we would like to emphasize as well. If this was my bank account, you could tell me, I just sent you $15 and I got to keep opening up my bank account and, did it reach yet? And, I didn't get it. And then, did you get my
Yes.
account number right? Are you sure? And we back and forth and we look in, where's the money? And, I'm online at Super Value and I'm holding up the line and I'm $15 short. Here, my good friend just sent me $15 and, I can go about my business. Within seconds, I receive it. I can transact. I can send money back. No issue.
Yeah. Jump right in, Missy.
Yeah, I just wanted to, because I know a lot of small and micro merchants also want to be able to do business online and have an online store and e-commerce. And it can be costly when you look into, payment gateways and all of that. And so you do have, with some of the digital wallet providers, they do provide a service where they can set you up with a website and have where you can accept Sand Dollar on your website. So you can have your products and you can be able to receive your payments online. Like right now for me, when I do my top up on my phone, I go to BTC and I top up with Sand Dollar on BTC's website. So you can actually go right now on BTC's website if you have Sand Dollars and top up minutes on your phone too. So I thought that was really great, especially for the micro and small merchants where it's cost prohibitive to be able to get all you need to be able to sell online and accept payments online.
No, man, this is absolutely awesome. I just wanted to remind people that if you need to top up so that you could text us at 422-GR96, that's 422-4796, then check out BTC's website right now and start exploring these options that are available to you. I see a lot of benefit. I'm particularly focused on family islanders, right? My greatest concern.
Yes.
I declare my bias from the top. I like cash and I like privacy. Right? I don't like people to know how broke I am. So y'all think it is you want to know how rich I am, right? I mean, I don't want you to know how many sea grape I have because I'm wealthy. But personally, I am like, hey, I like cash and I like privacy. But more importantly, I see that there are other people who need different types of economic systems. They need different types of systems to support commerce. And then I recognize that I young and I sprightly now, I hop everywhere with this broken foot. But there's going to come a time when I'm going to need to be able to access different types of economic systems to support my lifestyle at an older age. And particularly when I say older, with my broke foot right now. If it were not for good friends and good neighbors and good family, I would have been relying solely on delivery services, right? I would be needing a service like Sand Dollar because I can't get to the bank to get cash to pay or even to pay the tip, right? I can't drive myself, so I need a chauffeur service. I got to call one of these taxi services and pay online, right? When I get older, I could kung fu, but at 75, I don't know if I could be kung fu and so I'm going to feel safer having my money on a digital platform, knowing I can access it whenever I want, right? So, like, I see the benefit for in a society made up of different types of people with different levels of mobility, different ideas around, being able to secure themselves and security. All of these things make having access to a platform like this valuable.
Certainly. Yeah. And, there's several things that come to mind based on the comments you just made that I'd like to touch on. The first is, you mentioned you like cash.
Yeah.
I like cash as well. I do a lot of my transactions in cash. We are not trying to make a cashless society. We're not trying to force anyone to stop using cash. What we are trying to do is provide all of these options to you so that, as you say, as you engage in different stages of your life and your ability to move around changes, maybe you can no longer make it to the ATM on a regular basis, but you want to send someone some cash to get your groceries for you or give you a ride. Now you have another option of how you can easily do that. You mentioned, different types of people and, different abilities. And one of the things we found and we touched on earlier is there's actually a large segment of the population that are unbanked or underbanked for various reasons, right? Whether that be that they don't have the necessary requirements for the banks, in terms of proving your identification, your status here in the country, whether you're just a visitor here temporarily. There's so many different scenarios that come up as to why Sand Dollar is a great option for you. So again, it's not about restricting people's ability to transact in cash or forcing people to transact in Sand Dollar. It's providing options for people, an ecosystem that you can be a part of and participate in the economy in several ways, whether that is with cash, credit and debit card, or Sand Dollar. We want to provide those options to you. Shiandra had started to touch on some of the benefits, and Mr. Newry, you'd asked for some of the benefits, and you touched on, the time it takes, as a business owner, the resources it takes to manage cash and reconcile all of your payments. Again, it is another means by which you can accept payments and maybe reduce some of the time and resources it takes to manage the cash that your company is bringing in.
Yeah, and particularly with the business owners who have a lot of customers in the Family Islands as well, and being able to make those transactions a lot faster. They don't have to wait on the bank transfer to come through.
I don't have to put the money on my number. But I buy numbers no more.
Right.
I had to do that a couple of times in the Family Islands. And I don't buy numbers.
Right. So you can just, if you're, and this is for any merchant, from the big retail store to the small merchant who's selling on Facebook, selling a dress that somebody in Exuma wants them to put on the boat for them. They could just, quickly send them the $1 for the dress and for the outfit, and they put that on the boat the same day. Literally within minutes, they can say, okay, got it. And they're at the boat, and that's off. And you see how fast that transaction has become? So
yeah. So while we were on break, you'd asked about some of the merchants who are accepting Sand Dollar. So if you want to go to sanddollar.bs/merchant list, you'll see a full listing. And a lot of them are mom and pop shops, kind of small outfits that are not doing, a whole lot of business. For a lot of these companies, it might not make sense for them to, be able to accept Visa and MasterCard. A bit cost prohibitive with the percentage that, credit cards attract for the business. So for a mom and pop shop that, wants to be able to transact and tell someone in Nassau or someone in the Family Island, you can send me some money, I'll get your product onto the boat. This is a good solution. There are some large merchants we've already onboarded, and that is one of the key focuses of our team. And what we are doing as an adoption unit is engaging with merchants and encouraging them to accept Sand Dollar. So certainly some of the bigger names you're probably familiar with, Super Value, or Fresh Market, they are accepting Sand Dollar. Bamboo Shack, if you feel like getting a kunk snack.
A hot sauce and ketchup special.
Right. They are accepting Sand
So there's a listing, a large listing of who does.
And that grows, almost on a daily basis, certainly every week and every month.
And so one of the benefits for merchants, right, time sensitive, get on board as quickly as possible, because you then become one of the top choices for Family Island vendors and consumers, right? So you get first in the door and the first opportunity to build a relationship or a culture with your new consumers in the Family Islands.
Right.
Absolutely.
And that's one of, especially as a business, you have competitors who are selling the same products. And so you want to find those areas where you can differentiate yourself. And one way is when you look at some of the most successful retailers out there, convenience. And so when you're able to give your customer convenience, and I want to speak just briefly to not just the consumer, but the B2B, the business to business customers. So wholesalers, for example, the wholesale grocer here in Nassau who's selling to a restaurant or who's selling to a grocery store in the Family Islands. The cost for them to send their payments, it's very costly in the Family Islands. And so this is a way where, as their vendor, you're giving them an option to be able to reduce their cost and pay you, more quickly.
Let's talk about onboarding, right? And product outreach. I have a friend who sells time, minutes, right? And every so often she calls me and says, hey, I ran out of minutes. Can you take $100 to her supplier so she can be able to send minutes? But with the Sand Dollar account, right? I'm assuming that she could do this herself, just transfer the money. Now I want to know, how is it that for onboarding for having a small business, mom and pop type business, how are you reaching them for her to know that this exists?
Yeah,
so go ahead.
As a team, certainly, part of our job is this education and outreach and doing things like this, appearing on the radio and folks such as yourselves who are willing to give us this platform to speak. to Sand Dollar. We're going to take advantage of those opportunities and reach your listeners and educate them on Sand Dollar. We have a social media presence. We also do quite a bit of face-to-face engagement. So a few weeks ago, our team was in South Eleuthera. And so what we did was we engaged with the Chamber of Commerce. They directed us to several businesses who may be interested. We were able to set up some virtual meetings in the first instance with those businesses, introduce them to Sand Dollar, tell them what it is. We followed that up with an on-the-ground visit where we had some of these digital wallet providers who came along. Some had a permanent presence already on the island, on Eleuthera. But they came, face-to-face and showed up, at the variety store, at the little convenience store, and answered the questions. And these mom and pop shops said, well, yeah, this sounds like a solution for me. And onboarding is a quick and easy process. I mean, right there and then, we onboarded several merchants, and several others said, for various reasons, I don't want to do it today, but this sounds like something I'm going to do, maybe next week or next month.
Right.
So it's a quick and easy process to get onboarded. We also obviously will continue the approach we had with some of the events, like we did, towards the end of last year, the Food Fest and the Wine and Art and Jollification. Again, in-person opportunities. Onboarding is quick and easy. We generally like to have a presence at these events, so you can ask any questions. We can answer them, get you set up on the spot.
Contact information, right? Well, Ms.
Yeah.
Newton, and then contact information.
Well, I also wanted to mention the Sand Dollar Ambassador Program that we are getting ready to launch, and we should have that concluded by this month. We did have where persons could submit applications. I do believe the deadline has passed
but
already for the first cohort. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Brett.
but I think that is something folks who want to get involved with this, who are interested in Sand Dollar and see the benefits and want to promote it in their community, they can reach out to us, SDAU at centralbankbahamas.com. Is the easiest way to contact us. Shoot us an email. You can also go on our website, www.sanddollar.bs. You can find out more and find other ways to reach us through
What's
our
a
website.
Sand Dollar ambassador? I didn't understand. I'm sorry.
Right. So the Sand Dollar Ambassadors, they and these are representatives throughout the archipelago who will be able to help, like you mentioned, you talked about onboarding, help train the public, troubleshoot any issues to a small degree, and yeah, Brett.
Yeah, they're going to be your first point of contact. So again,
Right.
if you are a merchant on Andros, let's say, and you have a few questions, and you don't want to pick up the phone because you want someone to see exactly what you're seeing.
Yeah.
A Sand Dollar ambassador. So again, those will be individuals that we provide training to. They will be trained in the use of all of the digital wallets. So, you as a merchant, you have, your Suncash wallet, let's say, and for some reason you didn't complete the setup and you're not sure what your next step is, or you are trying to transact and you are having some difficulty, whatever that difficulty may be. The Sand Dollar Ambassador is someone we can direct to
First
you.
point of contact,
That
they'll
first point of contact.
refer you to an agency
Exactly.
or
Right.
department if there's a larger issue.
They will look and see, well, okay, you have a Suncash wallet or you have a Canoe wallet. Let me give you let me try to fix your issue
Yes,
right here
sir.
on the spot. If I can't fix it as the Sand Dollar Ambassador, I know how to reach out to someone directly at Canoe, at Suncash, at MoneyMax, at Mobile Assist.
Right, that's
and
another point, that
they're
there's so
gonna-
many wallet providers that you want someone who is familiar with all of them and the adoption unit.
Exactly.
Right.
So if you do have an issue, they know how to escalate it. If it's something they cannot solve, most issues can be resolved directly by your digital wallet provider.
Absolutely. Now, who can apply? Because I'm thinking 5 to 75
Yeah.
should apply for this gig.
Yeah.
That's definitely one of the messages that we want to get out about Sand Dollar. A lot of people think, I have to be, extremely super tech savvy. You don't have to be an Apple genius,
Right.
working at the Genius Bar at Apple or anything like that. You just, once you know how to use a smartphone. So if you're already using WhatsApp and all of the other popular apps on the phone, and so this is for anyone from any age, from young straight to old. You
Yeah.
wanted to say something?
We generally just require someone who has some high school qualifications.
Right.
Once you have satisfied that requirement, you can operate a smartphone, and we're looking for people who can commit 30 to 40 hours per month. So this is something, if you need some part-time employment, you're looking to make a little extra cash on the side, you can reach out to us, express your interest in being a Sand Dollar ambassador. Again, we'll provide the training, and, we'll deploy those individuals throughout their community. And, those will be the folks explaining to the mom and pop shop on the corner, here are the benefits of Sand Dollar to you. Let me help you get set up with your wallet. Nice. Let me troubleshoot any issues you have. And really, they are the ones who are going to help spread this message and get
without a
individuals
doubt.
on board.
So if you want to make extra money, you become a Sand Dollar ambassador.
Their Anglican church, their Methodist church, their Catholic church, all the Baptist churches, all the other churches, all are important. No value indicated there. You all get your people together. Find the most tech savvy, the most articulate and charismatic older members of your church, and encourage them to come out and become ambassadors, so that they can do some peer-to-peer training.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Extra
Not just
employment. Why are they saying that?
that's another thing. That's extra tights. Look at that. They got bob in their pocket, and you gonna have a wallet, and they gonna have a wallet, and look at that. Be waking.
Exactly.
So in April, Friday the 28th and Saturday the 29th of April, right? There's going to be a fair, Financial Literacy Fair and Digital Payment Expo. I want to know more about that. What's happening at Fusion Superplex on Gladstone Road?
Yeah, so this will be an event at, as you said, at Fusion, Superplex on Gladstone Road. Not just for Sand Dollar, but obviously all of the commercial banks are moving to a greater online presence and really pushing their digital banking platforms, right? So if you have questions about the products and services of the various commercial banks, if you have questions, if you're interested in learning more about investing, we'll have all of the brokerage houses there as well. All of our digital wallet providers will be set up there as well. So this is a great opportunity if you are generally interested in learning more about Sand Dollar, certainly, but just digital payments in general, or becoming more financially literate, learning about managing your money, any of the opportunities that are out there for investments, if that's something, somewhat of a scary word. We think of investing and it's like, oh, I don't have a lot of money. You don't need a lot of money to invest. We'll have representatives there from, as I said, the brokerage firms as well as the central bank. I mean, you can buy Bahamas government registered stock for as little as $100. If you want to start getting your feet wet and learn more about investing, that's a great opportunity for you to come out and learn. Students as well.
Hold on, you say students as well. First of all, I have a uniform in my closet I can put on. Friday the 28th is a day specific for students?
Yeah, certainly we welcome students on both days, but we will be catering to school students in particular. There'll be a lot of interactive sessions. So again, questions you may have that you may not have taken the initiative to ask your bank or one of the local investment houses before. They'll all have a presence there, very informal. You can walk around booth to booth, find out what it is they do, what it is they're offering, ask those questions. If you're a student and want to become a little more educated and knowledgeable about managing your money, high school students are quickly approaching that age where they're going to be responsible for their own affairs, and mommy and daddy.
Some of them are already.
Exactly,
Yeah.
some of them already at that stage. It's never too early, and also never too late. If you want to become a little better with managing your money, a great opportunity to come out, and we'll have a great lineup of speakers and presenters, but also a lot of booths where you can come up one-on-one. So
you mentioned government bonds and availability, right? If I have a little $200, $400 saved, right, and I want to do something more meaningful with this money, you saying come to this fair and there'll be someone there who can direct me in a part and say, well, I have some shares and something. Someone will be there for that.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no amount that's too small. When we speak about financial literacy, we want to encourage all of our people to become more financially literate, manage your money better. If you are curious about investing, but as you say, you may only have a couple dollars to spare, $200 or so, there is opportunity out there that you can do something with that money. So this is a great venue to come hear from some of the speakers, come speak with some of these representatives one-on-one and find out what it is they have to offer.
Absolutely. Now, the newest element of the Financial Literacy Fair is the Digital Payments Pavilion.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you say you're targeting 3,000 people to come to this event. What's going to be the most exciting element of the Digital Payments Pavilion?
I think it's that opportunity to actually touch and experience, right? Here we are on radio talking about it, and we're telling people how to onboard and download the app, and we're well aware that for a lot of people that is still intimidating, and several of your listeners aren't going to follow through and actually do that. But when you're in front of someone and they can walk you through that process and get you set up right on the spot, you'll have opportunity to put that $20 in your pocket into your digital wallet, and now you can go around and experience what it is like to transact in Sand Dollar. Come with your auntie or your mommy or your Grammy and let them set up a wallet as well, and you can see how easy it is for both of you to send money back and forth in real time. No worries about your bank account details and memorizing your account number and all of that. On the spot, you will see how easy it is to transact with Sand Dollar in these digital wallets. I think that is one of the most exciting things that people will see, is just how easy it is and be able to really experience it firsthand.
All right. The press release said, encourage attendees to enable their digital wallets before arriving at the event. But first of all, what I may not be able to do it, somebody will be there to help me do that if
Absolutely.
I can't do it myself,
Yes,
right?
Yeah.
absolutely.
I can get in, even if I don't have it enabled, I can get into the event and
Yep.
somebody will do it. Now tell me, why is it so important for me to have a digital wallet when I get to this event?
One of the things we'll be doing, and we've done a bit of in the past, but we'll be doing a lot more in the future, is a lot of giveaways and promotional opportunities.
Free things. You say free things, right?
Free things.
Okay.
We all love free things, right?
Yes.
So they're at the event and going forward, certainly with you, Aaron, on your show. That's something we want to announce for future appearances.
Absolutely, yes.
We will be announcing some ways for you to essentially just get money sent to your digital wallet. We are doing a lot of promotional activities. There will be some of those giveaways there at Fusion. So if you want a part of this, what is essentially free money just for attending the event, set up your digital wallet. Make sure, if you can set up ahead of time, that's great. But even if you have to show up there and get someone to help you set it up,
It's okay as
you
well.
can participate.
Now
and-
listen, the giveaways are no hassle, free. Just get the money at the event. But the giveaways on the show, you're going to have to answer a question. You may even have to give us a poem. We like poems, nice poems. It's the Guardian's 11th anniversary. We may want a poem about the Guardian. The best poem wins. But you don't have to do anything hard to get a prize. You just got to tune in, have your digital wallet enabled and ready to go, listen out for the instructions, and be prepared to play. That's it. It's going to
Exactly.
be a good time.
How much money y'all plan to give away?
Well, I don't want to reveal that just yet. I want you to come and find out.
So big
Newry,
money,
don't,
though.
don't ask how much money.
I need to know when I reach how much I can win.
Don't ask how much money they're going to give away. Ask yourself how much sea grape I could buy once I get the money. That's the most
Will it be
important
sea
part.
grape season then?
Pardon?
Will it be sea grape season then?
You have to let your money mature. You have to have,
Okay.
don't be rushy. You have to have a plan. All right. This is another thing I like about this time and space, right? It enables us practice a little spatial awareness. We now begin thinking more about our money, how we hold it, how we spend it, how we think about spending it, right? And what role money plays in our lives. And, some of the texters have suggested that cash is important, fiat. Because fiat means my money good.
Yep.
That's what it translates to. My money, good, because it's fiat. And so this gives us an opportunity, no matter how you feel about the subject, to examine ourselves. And it's an examination we really require, because when you're an archipelago, when you have an archipelagic exterior, when your people are sort of far flung from each other, you always have to take time to think about how we're living, how we're working together. and how we trading, right? Because this is life. Ms. Newton?
Yeah, and I will say, being here in Nassau, we really don't see a lot of what our brothers and sisters in the family islands and our family members are dealing with in terms of just being able to access cash and all of that. And so this is very important. An important initiative. There's a greater goal here, and that's financial inclusion.
Absolutely. I just want to say to the audience, forgive me for not talking directly into the mic. It's just so many notes and so much information. It's such a fantastic conversation. And Mr. Newry not keeping me in check like he normally does.
Forgive me for that, Aaron. What about exposure? I know last year, right, you had some similar fairs where I could have practiced using my sand dollar. Because I just forget things when I used to say, I remember I could have scanned this and I'm not sure how to use this anymore. Is there any more fairs anticipated in the future?
Yeah,
so I could practice some more?
The Red Cross Fair is actually coming up.
Okay.
And that will be a sand dollar environment as well. Traditionally the Red Cross Fair, like a lot of these other fairs, you kind of give them your cash and you got to get the tickets, and then you spend the tickets at the booths, right? Because all the booths are kind of cashless. So now sand dollar will be an option as well. If you want the ticket, I think they'll still have the ticket available to you. But if you don't want that hassle, and again, you can set up your sand dollar wallet ahead of time, so you don't even have to join that line, to buy tickets or top up.
Yeah. And it's very easy to lose tickets. Children lose tickets easily.
They drop the ticket, and the child, doesn't count the right amount of tickets out, and they, as you say, they got that one spare ticket and they drop it, right? And now they say, "Well, we need more tickets." As what happened to the tickets I just gave you? Sand dollar again. One of the things I love about it is, it's right in your phone. Everyone, we almost attached to our phones now, right? It's not something else you got to worry about in your pocket. If you got your phone, you got your money in your hand.
And the great thing is, with those tickets, you can only use the tickets at the event.
Right.
Whereas with sand dollars, if you still have sand dollars left, now you can go out and
Super
use
Value,
it, and
you go to Fresh
and all of
Market,
the other
you go
places.
to Babu Shack.
So you're left with a bunch of tickets, but now you have sand
I
dollars.
remember in years past.
Sand dollar don't spoil.
Exactly.
No expiry.
Right.
Exactly.
All right, so let's go through the contact information again. I want to get in touch with the Sand Dollar Adoption Unit. I'm a vendor, I'm a potential consumer. How do I get in contact with you? And then where do I go to keep up to date with info, news, and events about and around Sand Dollar?
Okay, the best way to contact us is via email. That is SDAU. That's for Sand Dollar Adoption Unit, SDAU, at centralbankbahamas.com. If you want to keep up with where we are and what we're doing, go to www.sanddollar.bs. We also are on social media. You can go on Instagram if you are an Instagram user. You can search for Sand Dollar, and you'll find the sanddollar.bs page. You can follow Central Bank's social media platforms as well, the main bank platforms. If you get, again, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. Just search for Central Bank of the Bahamas, and you will find all of those pages. And we also post quite a bit of our Sand Dollar happenings to those platforms as well.
Right. I see that Central Bank has initialized or launched a monthly update
Public
that they
update.
post on the page. So
Yep.
if you're really interested, once a month you can go to the page, you can download the press release, you can read the data, reconciling or a reiterating of events that took place in the month prior or the month targeted, and then calendar of events for the future. This is a great space. Again, now, if I want to be a Goodwill, a Sand Dollar ambassador, and I may have missed the deadline, but I'm ready to be a part of the second cohort, right? What do I do, and when will you announce the applicants chosen for the first cohort of ambassadors?
Great question. So we are processing those applications for that first cohort right now. Those folks can expect to hear from us in the coming days. We do envision we'll open up a second cohort, in in the near future. So again, stay tuned to those spaces that I mentioned, the website, the social media platforms. You will see those announcements if you are interested. Certainly, get in touch once we announce that second cohort, and let us know. Very basic requirements. If you finished high school and you're able to use a smartphone. If you can speak Haitian Creole, that is a plus as well. We see that as an asset, and we'd love to reach out to the Haitian community in particular. We think Sand Dollar is a viable solution for many reasons, for not just the Haitian community, but all of the migrant population that might be here in the Bahamas. Again, it's a quick and easy way to send money, and if you can't access the formal banking system, this is a great alternative.
Right. Let's touch on that for a minute, because migrants documented migrants with legal status, with permission to work, have different rules in terms of opening bank accounts, and you'd be surprised the number of people who could use this option.
Yeah. So again, as Shiandra was mentioning, doing something as simple as a top up with BTC, right? If you are unable to open a bank account, right now your only option is to top up using cash. You have to go, in the food store or go to a BTC outlet and top up. With Sand Dollar, again, even a tier 1 wallet, anyone can set up. You don't need any identification. No one is concerned with, where you're from, who you are, how much money you make in a month, who's the employer. You don't have to answer any of those questions. You can set up a Sand Dollar wallet with just your phone number, and now you have a means to, do that online top-up that you didn't have access to before. So
absolutely
great options there.
I just wanted you to reiterate how safe Sand Dollar is. I see this person is asking, what if my phone lost? And I know you mentioned it, but I want you to reiterate that point again.
That is a great point. So if I lose my physical wallet, right? If I drop my wallet out of my pocket, that's it, right? Someone's going to come along. Most likely they're going to take the cash out. Maybe if they're feeling nice, they might leave my credit and debit cards for me to find. But my money is lost. Sand Dollar, in your digital wallet, number one, the layers of security, right? To get in your phone, you likely have a password set up, right? It might require your fingerprint as well, or maybe your face to be recognized. There's then that additional layer of security to get into your Sand Dollar wallet. So again, I have to punch in a password, or it has to recognize my face.
Yeah.
If I lose my phone, right, I can go to my carrier, BTC or Alive, and I tell them, hey, I need my number restored on this new device. I can get my phone number back, and my digital wallet is tied to my phone number. I can then go to my digital wallet provider and say, hey, I have a new phone. I need y'all to move my digital wallet onto this new device. And my funds are there. So even if you lose your phone, that does not mean you've lost your funds. You can get a new phone, recover your phone number, put it on your new phone, and your digital wallet provider can get your digital wallet with all of your money back onto a new device. You can deactivate the old wallet, and now all of your money is back. Beyond that, if for some reason you do suspect someone has done some fraudulent transaction, the beauty is there's this running ledger of all of my transactions.
Right.
I can see. Hold on now. I didn't send $15 to Shiandra. I don't know who Shiandra is.
Right. And if there's a business, I can then go to the business and say to the police, hey,
exactly,
you can start an investigation at this point.
Right. And then my digital wallet provider, in most cases as well, can even restore the funds that were fraudulently moved off of my wallet. So if you can say to your wallet provider, hey, I told y'all someone stole my phone.
Right. The account was not secured.
The account was not secured. They will right away be able to deactivate your wallet so no one can spend out of it. Right. So now if you tell them, hey, someone is spending, they can see, well, this person just spent 15 seconds ago, right, at super value. Hi, let's run some camera footage back and see who that person is that paid at this particular register. So there's a record of it. Super Value can say in their digital wallet, well, this is the person, who made this transaction. Let's look and see who that person actually was, because you're saying it's not you. So there's a lot of benefits in terms of security that traditional cash does not provide.
I want to ask the audience, Mr. Newry, this is one of the topics that I would love for you to put together your thoughts if you have queries, concerns about security issues, about emerging about emerging technologies. We can try capture those so that we can have a show dedicated to the subject, right? Security matters. It's not just securing from fraud. I like I say, my Grammy, she need to go to jail. She need money, right? Like, she may want to take some money off my thing. I can't be that upset about it. But if I could protect my phone a little bit, I'd like to know, right? Just like little things like that to make users feel more secure, because that's really what builds confidence, right? You got a text there?
Yeah, I just want to be reminded about the date for the fair again and where.
Yeah, the fair is going to be April 28th and 29th.
Yeah, that's a Friday and a Saturday.
Friday and a Saturday.
9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Right, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Fusion Superplex on Gladstone Road. Feel free to come at any time throughout the day. There will be both panel sessions, presentations, and booths set up, so you can interact with, individuals at the booths at any time.
Right, and the interactive experience in the digital payments pavilion.
Go to the pavilion, get a wallet set up if you haven't gotten one set up already, and then see what it's like to transact, whether that's with someone you come along with, and you both set up your wallet. You'll be able to see that experience. Obviously with your digital wallet provider, they'll be able to demo it as well. We alluded to there'll be some giveaways as well, and opportunities for you to spend some cash, some digital cash right there, and there are a number of places in the surrounding neighborhood as well. You can, if you leave and need to grab a bite to eat, now you are equipped with a digital wallet, and you can, stop and test it out in real life outside of the event as well.
Absolutely.
And I'm just still tickled pink that the investment opportunities and that there will be persons there to explain that there are investment opportunities, especially these government bonds, you said, something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm kind of excited about that.
Right. I mean, we've been focused primarily on Sand Dollar, but let's talk a bit about the other types of payment system providers that will be there. And like I said, investment is one of the things that we can talk about. What else is going to be?
So obviously, a lot of the commercial banks are moving to, digital only, or, a lot of their services, they're moving online. So if you have questions about that, we'll have representatives from the various commercial banks. So, if you have a question for, Scotia or RBC or CIBC, it's obviously very difficult to get inside a bank these days, right?
Yeah. So it's a great opportunity to interact with them.
So this is a great opportunity to interact with a representative of your commercial bank. They'll have representatives out to answer all your questions. If you have questions of, a particular online or mobile application that they offer and things you're able to do, and you have questions or you need some help, that's a great opportunity. You mentioned investing. Again, let's not lose sight that this is also a financial literacy fair. We want to educate people to opportunities to invest their money. So we allow the brokerage firms out there. So if you're interested in investing in Bahamas government, government bonds, it's a great opportunity to learn more about those and what those services are that those brokerage firms offer. We'll obviously have the central bank will have a presence there as well. So we'll have the ability to speak to some of the things central bank does as a regulator, but also obviously we do also offer the ability to purchase government bonds directly through the central bank. So if you have questions about that, we'll have a presence there. I believe our ombudsman will be present as well. If you have a issue with your bank and you have questions of how to resolve it, the ombudsman's office will have a presence there. That is a great resource you can take advantage of as well.
Also, government digital services. So
Yes.
being able to understand how to use them efficiently.
Yeah, a lot of these government offices are moving in a cashless direction.
Right.
So great opportunity to learn more about that as well.
Absolutely. The music means we're going to a break, guys. This has been a full conversation. I want to remind the audience that we're going to delve over the next couple of months. We're going to delve into each topic in depth with industry experts and members of the Sand Dollar Adoption Unit and from Central Bank. We got to go to a break. When we get back from the break, we're going to close out this initial conversation with the Sand Dollar Adoption Unit from Central Bank of the Bahamas. You're listening to Guardian Radio in the AM with Cecil Newry. We'll be right back.
Girl, Junior just showed me Bella Boy in his phone.
What you mean? He take picture of that good-for-nothing boy?
Shh, you don't want Bella here. You say that. You know she always say that's my good child.
So what he doing in Junior phone?
Oh, he there because the police looking for him. He on their wanted list.
Wanted persons in your phone now?
Yes, child. And when police want to find anybody quick, after something happen, they can send picture direct to your phone. Go to Google Play or App Store and search for Crack Crime Bahamas. Then pick install and it will go straight to your phone.
There is also a section on missing persons.
Yes, girl. Everybody needs to get this app so police can tell us right away when these people go missing. Just like an alert system.
Yes, it has numbers for Crime Stoppers Bahamas, so you can call and nobody knows it's you. Call directly to Miami and give the information without giving your name or anything about you. I tried the other day, and when I hear Junior and his boys talking about where they hide those guns, I walk quick round the corner and call that number.
Calls 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands.
And welcome back to Guardian Radio in the AM with C.A. Newry, and we are talking Sand Dollar. We have Mr. Lashley here and Mr. Newton here, and they were going in detail the benefits of having Sand Dollar. And on the break, Ms. Newton wanted to give more information about the ambassadors.
Right.
Yeah, but go ahead, because definitely for the Family Islands, I want to know more about.
we just want to encourage Family Islanders to apply, particularly once we open that second cohort up and we make that announcement. Please do. Again, and it's any age, as long as you know how to use a smartphone. Just a high school diploma is required. So definitely Family Islanders, please do apply.
Let me emphasize, this is very important. The rollout and implementation of Sand Dollar, I think, is most important for ensuring that our Family Island residents have equal and equitable access to things like commerce, like trade, like business, like banks. It's of vital importance that we can play our role in this ecosystem.
So if you're in Nassau and you have family members and friends who live on the island, tell them about it.
Encourage them to get on board.
If you visited a Family Island, I'm sure you've had that experience of, there's only one ATM and, it's a 45-minute drive away, and you get there and ATM is out of service. What are the residents of that island supposed to do? So for Family Islands in particular, Sand Dollar is a great, solution, or at least a great option for your ability to remain a part of the financial ecosystem, transact seamlessly with people throughout the archipelago. Oftentimes us here in Nassau, we take these things for granted, right? If the Scotia ATM downtown is out of service,
You go to one down the street.
We go down the street to East Bay Street, and there's another ATM there, and many of us might have accounts with multiple banks. And you think it's easy to, just drive to another location. That's not always the case on a Family Island, right? You think of folks who need to purchase goods and services on a Family Island, and now you're telling them, well, there's no cash available. What are you supposed to do?
I've heard stories where people are, telling family members bring over cash. People are flying into Nassau to deposit, and so
Yeah, it's a great addition to the mix. And again, we want to emphasize we are not trying to replace cash. Right. There's over $500 million in circulation in Bahamian currency. In Sand Dollar, it's just over $1 million. So this is just a fraction of the mix of currency and circulation.
Right.
We have no intention of trying to tell people you can no longer transact in cash, or we're forcing you to use sand dollar. Again, we just want to provide an option so that however you like to transact, you have those options available to you. If you as an individual don't like to carry a lot of cash, here's an alternative. If you like cash and cash is working for you, that's fine. Again, we use cash, I'm sure. I have credit and debit. I use those in certain places. I prefer to pay with credit card. In certain places, I prefer to cash. I prefer to pay in cash. But in certain places, I like to transact in sand dollar. So it's just about providing that mix of options.
The agency.
Exactly.
Right. Absolutely. Okay, I got a text here. I just want to say to the texter, they're very concerned about some security issues, right? And some protocol issues. I want to say to the texter, we just don't have the time to get into that particular conversation today. Again, I know that there are people who are going to have concerns about this subject. What I'm asking my listeners to do is to put those questions together in an art so that you can express them clearly, right? And not just the audience can understand your question, but also the experts we're going to ask to answer them. Producer, let's go to this call very quickly before the end of the show, and then we give the last words to our guests. You know, we got to end at the 12 o'clock hour.
Go ahead, caller. Can we hear you?
Green. Good morning, Miss Green.
Good morning, Mr. Weatherford. How are you?
Buddy in studio. You know,
Morning.
the Craig Flowers had digital money throughout this country over a decade ago, and we abused him. Now we're talking about a sand dollar. I cannot even take my sand dollar to the Bank of the Bahamas to make my car payment. They say they don't accept it. So if my own bank doesn't accept it, why should I accept it? And we should do a show on crypto versus digital that's highly traceable and trackable and regulated, and cash.
Yes,
That would be a good
absolutely.
show.
Absolutely, Graham. Like I said, I'm intending to focus on some of the subject matters we touched on today in depth. And what I'm asking you to do is to collate those questions for us. Ms. Newton?
I will say, we continue to engage on an ongoing basis with all of the commercial banks. Stay tuned. That ability to go into your commercial bank and pay in sand dollar is on its way. You can integrate your sand dollar wallet. You can connect it with your bank account. And so you can move money from your sand dollar wallet to your bank account. That is something that is in place now. So if you do have, an account at DOB and you have a sand dollar wallet, you can always move that money from your sand dollar wallet directly into your bank account and go and pay those individuals who do not accept sand dollar through
Absolutely.
ACH transfer. So that is something we'll love to come on and speak about more.
Absolutely, and we have that plan for the future. Mr. Newry, thank you for letting me extend the hour.
30 seconds. Go ahead.
And don't forget the event that's coming up at the end of the month,
February
the fair.
28th.
28th and 29th. Show up at Fusion. You'll have opportunity to learn a lot more and interact and feel and touch and learn and see what it's all about.
Absolutely.
I just want to take advantage
Financial
of that 20
literacy
seconds.
fair.
No, it's great.
Guardian Radio, the AM with CA Newry. Thank you very much, Aaron Green, and thank you very much, Sand Dollar people.
Thank you both for
coming this
having
way.
us. We
Thank
really
you.
enjoyed this conversation today.
Absolutely. Have a great day.
Have a great day.